Good morning. It's bright and early, and I am getting ready to go to the gym. I'm so excited, and if it wasn't for my friend, I may not have made it up in time to go to our class that we go to on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I was up and I was kind of getting ready, and I was really just asking God, Lord, what is it that people need encouraged on today? And because when I do these, I don't want to just be doing it just to be spreading words, because everybody can say words. But the reason why I do this is because it's my heart and my passion to be able to encourage someone to be able to go in that next step forward, to motivate someone to go that next step forward in the midst of their difficulty. It's a lot easier to say than it is to do. So today's title is called We're All in This Together. And it's so funny because for those who have kids and watched High School Musical, that is a song. But I started thinking together, what does that actually mean? How can we relay that? Because that was the biggest thing. Well, I looked up in the Strong's Concordance, which is like an exhaustive book of you look up one word, and if it's in there, it'll tell you how many times that word is in the Bible. And you wouldn't believe how many times the word together is in the Bible. And then it goes on farther and it says you can also look up all together, and it'll show you like how many times it's in the Bible. So I just pulled out a couple, and even from the beginning, God has called us to be all together. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have it all together. That just means all together with one another. You know, in Genesis 1:9, heaven, he gathered together. So he brought everything together. Genesis 3:7, they sewed fig leaves together. Exodus 4:29, all the elders gathered together. And I mean, it goes on. And then I started thinking, well, there's also the 12 disciples. Why didn't Jesus just have one disciple? And then you even think about the fish. They gather together so that way they're not eaten by prey. That's why they call them a school of fish. And the sharks never know which one to go for because they're all gathered together and it makes them look bigger. Our natural tendency, though, is when we're going through stuff or something has happened, even if you're the person who's always super excited, super happy, and something happens, the natural tendency, at least for me, it has been, is to isolate myself because of shame of why am I going through this? I should be happy. I should be excited. You know, come on, I have this encouraging and motivation thing that I try and do every single day. I should not be going through this or displaying that, hey, I'm even suffering. All lies, right? My sister sent me something a little while ago. It was like probably last week or so, because if I'm being real with you guys, these last couple of weeks have been pretty hard with separation from my husband, because he's still in North Carolina trying to get everything ready for him to come here. So it's been a little rough, especially when we've been so used to, as my sister-in-law calls it, being a power couple, leaning on one another. Well, my sister sent me 1 Peter 4:16, and it says, "But if anyone suffers as a Christian, he should not be ashamed, but should glorify God in having that name." And then that's when it hit me. Like, this, what I've been feeling is a lot of shame because I have been struggling. I've been struggling just to hold it all together. You know, how many moms or just people in general, you have so much going on and you think you have to hold it together so that way nobody sees your struggles. But the real thing is sometimes it's good for people to see your struggles so they can see that you're a real person. And between yesterday and today, like, I've just been overwhelmed with happiness because in the midst of my struggle, some people who didn't even know I was struggling, they reached out. And it's weird. I'll just be honest with you guys. It's weird for someone to reach out to me when I'm the one who's used to reaching out to everybody else. But reality is Jesus also needed or wanted that crowd gathered together around him as disciples, not only to teach them, but to encourage them and to love them. And we all struggle and we all go through it. And what I loved the most about these last couple of days is the people who's reached out to me have been the people that I've been able to reach out to and to encourage. So it's a give and take. That's why God gathered us together. That's why we're gathered together in a church. That's why we're gathered together as a family. So today I want you to look around you and I want you to see who is struggling, who is acting a certain way that they don't normally act. And I want you to message them. I want you to give them a phone call. You don't have to really know what's going on in order to know that someone is different and that they're struggling. Reach out to them, give them a text message, give them a phone call, because it really does make a difference and it really does help push that person past the point of their struggle. If God gathered everything together in the Bible, then wouldn't he too want you to be gathered together with like-minded individuals to encourage one another and to lift each other up? How many times in the Bible it talks about encouragement? I think we've kind of talked about that, but there's a lot. So find somebody today that you can encourage, that you can help out, that you can be a part of pushing them past the shame and the difficulty that they're going through. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And today, go the next step further into being the person that God created you to be, into walking into that happiness every single day. And if you're struggling, it's okay. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. I love you guys. This is encouragement and motivation from my heart.